Welcome to Charcoal Zoo. Today we are drawing a squirrel. Start by loosely sketching out where the image is going to be located on the page, using light pressure with the side and the tip of a small piece of willow charcoal. Do not think too much about where to start. Just look at the reference image and let your hand glide across the page. The willow charcoal will easily erase, and you can move things around at any time throughout the development of the piece. Please take a moment to like the video, and if you're planning to buy any charcoal art materials, use the affiliate links in the video description to help this channel grow. Please use the tips in this video to draw along, or just sit back, relax, and watch this squirrel come to life. Use a paper towel to soften the lines of your sketch. Spread the charcoal pigment around the page. This will give you a middle tone to work on top of with a soft charcoal pencil, and something as a base to erase to make texture and highlights. Lightly hold the soft charcoal pencil, start to pick out some details. Give the form some shape and definition. You can start to add some texture and hair of the animal at the same time. Most of the texture I add with the eraser, but it's helpful to start making some decisions with the pencil as soon as possible. Keep looking back and forwards from the reference to the page to decide if everything is looking okay. Take your time to solve the puzzle of where everything should live on the page. Stay relaxed and enjoy finding out what looks good, and do not stress if something is not looking right at the moment. The drawing will develop at its own pace, and if you feel any frustration on one section, move away and work on something else for a minute, coming back when you feel comfortable. Art should always be an enjoyable process, a chance for you to express yourself and release the stress of life. Consider subscribing today if you have not already. I hope to provide value to you now and in the future. Now that we have defined some of the lines, we are going to use the eraser to add in some texture and realism to the work. Start to add in some highlights to give the shapes some more detail and interest. Add in some more convincing representation of long hair and fur. Use the eraser to sculpt out the drawing and start to suggest that it's a 3D object, not a flat drawing but a living object, paused in a moment in time to be studied. I am using a piece of compressed charcoal in a pencil extender. I like to use the pencil extender to make sure I do not touch the charcoal. It is very dark and will make a mess quickly, and this could be added to the image in an unintended place. I never touch the paper with my hand when working to avoid the oil from my hands being transferred to the page. It is best to keep everything as dry as possible when working with charcoal. I will pick out the darkest details with the compressed charcoal, blocking in shadows to give a greater depth to the work. Use a blending stump to push the compressed charcoal pigment into the page. This will soften the look of the charcoal, but also control how it spreads. It does not take long to give a dark but still interesting background. Now that most of the pigment is pushed into the paper, in the darkest sections I will use a paper towel to move some charcoal around the whole drawing to darken the middle tone. Unfortunately, I have lost a lot of the details I created before adding the compressed charcoal. I could have been more careful how much charcoal I added to the drawing. Before I use the soft charcoal pencil to add back in the detailed lines, I'm going to lighten the work with the eraser, reducing the amount of charcoal on the surface. This should make a big difference, and then I can refine the details with the pencil later. The eraser will be able to change the drawing a lot, as long as I keep it clean. Use it for a couple of strokes and then rub it on a paper towel or cloth to keep it clean as you work. It should be easy to erase the charcoal, but try not to take out big sections, but use the eraser to draw on top of the base. Move around the drawing with expressive and confident strokes, with the eraser in all different directions and pressures. Add back in the lost highlights and bring back the fur and long hairs you had before flattening. Sharpen the shapes of the drawing against the darker darks. Try to balance realism and creativity as you put the piece back together. Now that I'm a lot happier with the darks and also the highlights created with the eraser, I'm going to continue with the charcoal pencil until the piece feels finished. This can take as long as you like. Keep adding in little details all around the image. Work in small and deliberate, and large and bold. There's no need to look at the reference much now. Just keep building the piece by switching between the pencil and the eraser until you're happy it is complete. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you've got some value from it and I have earned your subscription. What animal would you like to see next? Leave your nice comments and questions below. You have been watching Charcoal Zoo.